and more.
Dr. J got me right.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you
Salute,
for having
Krissy
me.
Snow. How you doing? Yes,
I'm
yes,
good.
no
How are
doubt.
you?
I appreciate. I'm doing great. I appreciate you coming on. Can't wait to start the show. Glad to have you in and give us some details on the lifestyle of a female bodybuilder and the journey and path that it took for you to accomplish what you've accomplished so far. I've seen some photos and I've seen some pageants and things like that, and I must say I'm very impressed at your physique and your skill. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Like, where are you from?
Well, first of all, thank you. I'm originally from Iowa, but I currently live in Florida. I'm competing in Pittsburgh on Friday for North Americans.
Wow. What age did you realize that this is what you wanted to do?
Like 5 years ago. I
Oh,
actually, I
late
didn't
bloomer.
do any, yeah, I didn't do any athletic stuff until I was in my 30s. And I actually started in CrossFit for a few years and was competitive. Then I started competing in powerlifting, briefly competed in CrossFit and powerlifting at the same time, and then switched over to bodybuilding in 2019.
Wow. So this is all kind of new to you. Were you ever like around this? Any family members or relatives, anything?
Nope,
Uh,
nobody in my life did anything athletic growing up. No sports, no
wow,
nothing.
that is unreal. So how many people do you think that it just something just comes over them where they just hit the gym?
I don't think there's very many people that they just realize it like I did. I think most people have those role models or those people that they look up to and have it in their life in some way, shape, or form growing up. And that's what pushes them to it. For me, I just wanted something different. I didn't want the life that my family showed me.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely understand that. Coming from situations and things, you definitely kind of want to take a new path, in life. Um, what were you doing before you decided to start the bodybuilding?
Well, before bodybuilding, I was powerlifting competitively for a few years. And
Mhm.
before powerlifting, I was competitive in CrossFit.
Okay, and that was the thing. Like in your earlier years, what were you into? You just a typical, normal girl?
No, I actually grew up very fast and very young and got married when I was 16, and did the whole married life and military wife, and then joined the military myself. And then was just a drunk, to be honest, and wasn't doing shit with my life.
Okay. did you have any like siblings? Were you only child, or how was
No,
your upbringing?
I'm I'm the oldest of four from my mother. Don't know
Mhm.
about father, but I haven't lived at home though since I was very young. So family wasn't blood family is not involved in my life. I have adoptive family that and friends that have become my
Okay.
family as an adult.
Right, and I can definitely understand that. When you move around a lot, sometimes strangers become more loyal than people you've been knowing your whole life.
Exactly. And just my family is a different path than I want for my life. So it made more sense to
Mhm.
distance myself with from them and surround myself with people that I more wanted to be like.
Um, I know. I know people were asking me. They were curious about your diet. They was like, "What kind of diet, do you
So
endure?"
it actually has come a long way. My first few years bodybuilding, I was with a different coach, and over that time period, and from me being so heavy in my previous years, I had to do very low to no carb most of the time. Last year, in about September, I think it was, maybe August, I signed up with Lacey Pruitt, and she's been able to increase my food. I've had carbs up until last week, and I'm what 4 days out now, I think. Um, so she's definitely been able to increase my carbs. But my diet essentially right now, we'll say before peak week, I'll tell you what that was. Because obviously, you know that it changes during peak week, day to day, hour to hour. But prior, I
Absolutely.
was doing an egg and 2 eggs, 6 ounces of egg whites in the morning. And then I would have oatmeal and protein powder. And then I would have chicken and sweet potato, shrimp, rice, and avocado, and then beef and vegetables for my last meal. And
What
obviously,
meal do you find more satisfying? The seafood or the beef or pork or
I
what
am
you?
a beef girl through and through, but my favorite meal
Okay.
this prep has been the shrimp and avocado and the rice because I would put like pico in it and just make it like, a Spanish bowl and a lot of flavor.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's making my mouth water now because I don't get to have that now.
Yeah, sounds delicious. Sounds delicious. So when you're training and before competition, do you eat much or how does that work?
So
How does your diet change before competition?
it depends on if you're in the off season or if you're prepping. If you're prepping for a show, your food slowly comes down because you're leaning out. If you're in the off season, ideally your food wants to slowly increase. That way it increases your metabolic intake. It helps you put on muscle and it should increase the amount of food you get to eat the next prep if done correctly
If done correctly, okay.
and in a perfect world because not everybody's body is going to respond the same way. And women are a
Mhm.
little bit more difficult than men.
Yeah, I can imagine. Different testosterones and all those, pheromones, hormones, and things. I can definitely imagine that. Did you have any idols that you looked up to?
When I was younger, I did not. I did not have any as a teenager, as a young adult. In the last few years, it had been my best friend, Edmund, who was a bodybuilder, coach, things like that. Very smart, very charismatic. Unfortunately, he passed at the end of 22 from cancer. So
Mhm.
nobody else. He was the one.
Oh wow. Are you familiar with what's her name? Iris Kyle
I know the name, obviously. I
or
mean, she's an
Louis?
Olympian.
And Louis Plum.
Again, I know the name. I don't know either of them in person. I just know them, from social
Okay.
media and bodybuilding world.
Right, right, right. And that's what I was getting at because nice lady Heather Don introduced me to you, and I
Yep.
was I was wondering because she has a phenomenal background with the
Yes.
bodybuilding also, and I was wondering were you and her ever associated together or done any pageants together?
Not in person, no. She just started bodybuilding, I want to say last year, maybe the year before. Before that, she had been powerlifting. To my
Mhm.
knowledge, we were not ever at the same powerlifting meets at the same time, but we
Mhm.
are both from Iowa and like very close to each other. So chances are we've been at the same events and just didn't know each other at that time.
Just didn't know each other. Wow. Have you noticed a surge in female bodybuilders in the past 10 years or?
No, actually, it's decreased, and they actually are like they're pushing. NPC is pushing the promoters to have women's bodybuilding and things like that because there's just not enough of us in that are entering the shows.
What do you think's going on? Are they getting into the wrestling? Are they doing more, more of that type of stuff? Or
Well, for a little bit there, there was rumors saying that they were going to get rid of women's bodybuilding, that they didn't like the look. Um, and I think that pulled a lot of women out of women's bodybuilding. Well, if they're not going to have my division, I'm not going to do it. And I think a lot of them
right,
dropped down to physique too. Like if you look at women's physique nowadays compared to a few years ago, it's dramatically different. It's really close to women's bodybuilding in my opinion. So I think that
right.
there's some blurred lines there, and that if there was a better separation, that it would increase women's bodybuilding some.
Mhm. How do you feel about the female wrestlers that you see on TV? The Chinas, rest in peace. But those type of legacies of women who took it to the mainstream. Full front.
I mean, I don't have much of an opinion because I don't know much about it. I think it's great that they
Mhm.
took it to mainstream and that they were able to do that. I think that's awesome. More power to them. I think, especially because it was a male dominated sport and they brought some women in, that it definitely helped open eyes for women that were capable of more things.
Absolutely. Um, I've noticed. I have noticed a surge in, the rest of female wrestlers. I think that I think females have taken over the entertainment industry in the past like 5 or 10 years or so because I just noticed. I say 5 years for sure. I just noticed a surge of women in the entertainment business, whether it be music or just in sports and things like that. They're definitely starting to get recognition for their talents and crafts.
I think there's definitely more recognition for it now, but I can't say that there's more of us because it may have just not been as easily accessible because of social media.
Because of social medias and phones and things of that nature.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I'm 43. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, social media wasn't a huge thing, but women were still doing these things. It wasn't as easy to hear and find out about it.
Uh-huh. That makes so much more sense. Um, how often do you find yourself like were you nervous at your first show or was it like something that you just kind of was a natural at?
No, I mean, I get nervous every time. And I will, even today, driving to Pittsburgh, was, picturing myself on stage, what I needed to do, the different steps, different poses, and had a momentary like panic of, oh my God, when does my time start? Does it start when they call my name? Does it start when I'm in the box? So for me, there's always nerves. It's never, a comfortable, like a second arm kind of thing for me. It's always nervous.
Yeah. What's the youngest you've seen and what's the oldest you've seen as far as the female bodybuilding and competitions?
Oh, I have no idea for youngest. I know for oldest because I attended North Americans last year, and I'm almost positive, or I know that there was some in like 60 plus, but I don't know about youngest. I don't think I've ever seen like a teen class for women's bodybuilding.
Okay. Um, how do you feel? And I want your honest opinion here. Uh, how do you feel about female bodybuilders and female fighters, whether it be boxing or whether it be MMA? How do you feel about them in the ring going against track stars? Just sports in general, but like the ones we see mainly with females getting a lot of attention, whether it be volleyball, track meets, boxing, or sports and things. How do you feel about the transsexual emergence that they have to where men uh, who
Are
are
entering
claiming
as
to be
boys.
women.
I don't think it should be allowed, regardless of how
Absolutely.
they
Uh-huh.
identify. They still had the hormones, chemicals, genetic makeup that gave them a different structure, a different musculature, a different, power that we will never have, even using, hormones and anabolics. We still didn't have those years developing with those different, chemical reactions because we are not a male. So I don't think that they should
Right.
be allowed to compete against natural born women. I think that they should either have their own division that's for, transsexuals or transgenders. I'm not sure the right word, or they should,
Right.
they
I get
should
mixed
compete
too.
in the sex that they were born.
Yeah, I think there definitely should be a third party. I think if this is going to be a global acceptance, we definitely should have three restrooms, three genders of everything. If that's if it's going to be like this, because men shouldn't be competing against women in anything, and whether
No,
you've been
I don't think
snipped
so.
or nipped or tipped or anything, you absolutely right. Like you were born with the genetics, and just because even if you snip it off or whatever the case may be, tuck it in, it's somewhat of it is still there.
Exactly.
I it breaks my heart to see these teenagers and young female athletes go through the trials and tribulations of this, because you know it's really a slap in the face.
It's demeaning
uh
because we have to work so much harder in some aspects to get. I'm going to use bodybuilding to get on stage. It takes us a lot more because of our hormones, because of everything. And then if I were to get up there against a natural born male that had decided he wanted to be a woman or is a woman or however you want to say that, to me that would be a slap in the face. He didn't have to work as hard as me.
Insane. And it's crazy because they allow this, and they actually, like, they honestly with a straight face say that this is a woman. And I'm like,
Yes,
are you
I
serious?
would leave
Yeah, it's
whatever
like they give
competition
you.
if it were me.
Yeah. And I think that's how they should handle that. They should boycott that type of stuff, because it's just not right at all.
It's not. But unless every single one of us are going to do it, it won't work. And as much as I, want to say I love my other women, I know that not every single one of us is going to do it.
Yeah. And yeah, it'll never work unless it's a complete collective.
Exactly.
Uh, because because if one person does it, then it's gonna it's gonna all look like just one person had a problem and things like that,
Exactly.
and that's just far from the case.
And that one person's going
Um,
to be the Karen, and they're going to be. Then they're also going to
yeah,
be not victimized, but they're going to be the bad person. If it's something that's publicized, I guess society's going to go after that woman because it make her the bad person that she's doing something wrong by not wanting to compete against a transgender.
yeah. Um, I have to ask, like, what was your life like? Prior to this, um, what
Well,
was
prior
it
to
that really
any,
motivated you
I just
to
didn't want to be my
to
family. I didn't want it.
mm,
My family is drunks and alcoholics, and that's exactly what I
right?
was doing. And I mean, some of the pictures that you've posted in the last few slides were when I was doing that. And you can see I look much older, even though I was 10, 15 years younger. I'm very overweight. I was very unhappy with my life and had no direction. I wanted something different. And at the time, a CrossFit gym had just opened in my gym. And that's what it took for me to get off the couch and do something different.
Oh, wow.
And when I was in
Um,
CrossFit, I discovered I was really strong. And I hated running, but I was strong. So that's how powerlifting came into it. And powerlifting changed to bodybuilding because I'm getting older and stuff started to hurt. And I didn't want everything to hurt all the time. And I wanted to look better. And I had definitely like changed composition wise during powerlifting, but not to the extent that I wanted. I wanted more.
yeah, I mean, these are some real impressive photos here. how long did it take you before you were just, fully addicted and it's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do? I mean, you have an
Um,
incredible physique.
for bodybuilding, honestly, it was like the first
Yeah.
year because originally I was just going to train like a bodybuilder to fix my composition. I wasn't ever going to enter a show. I didn't want to be. I To me it was subjective. That judge could be feel a certain way that day, and I wouldn't win. Whereas powerlifting, it was either you moved the weight or you didn't move the weight. So I wasn't ever going to compete. I started to prep for my first show and discovered that, or started to prep to change my composition and decided that, hey, I need to have a date to work towards. That's what motivates me is a date. So I picked a show and then I did a show and I was like, oh. And then it's just continued from there.
Um, you you know, with these contests, how often do they bring in like you know, celeb from the past, like Tony, like the Tony Atlases, the Schwarzeneggers, and all those? Have you met those people yet?
I mean, I've met Schwarzenegger at the Arnold before I was in bodybuilding. When I was in powerlifting, actually.
Mm,
I am not a big like celebrity person. I don't really like celeb crush on anybody, so I can't answer that. I
mm.
can't think of anybody that's been at a show where I was like, oh my god, I have to go meet them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I mean, when you got a body too, I can see how you can feel like that, but you got to think about this. You're only like maybe 15%, 10% of the world. Like
Yeah.
not everybody's in tune with it being in shape at all, and
Oh yeah, absolutely not.
you know, not, yeah, not everybody can either fit the schedule or just not everybody can just have the willpower to lift the weight. So
Or just the motivation or
it's
dedication to
definitely a
stick to a plan.
yeah, yeah. That's like let me tell you something. Nobody wants to write a list down and check off as they go along. Some people feel that they can't just do it free will, like it's either they're not gonna do it or they're gonna do it. But if you write it down and make it a
Hmm.
something important, it'll get done. Um,
Yeah.
I think that your health and your body is one of the keys to life, over money and everything else, and when you take the time out and develop your body into this godly shape here, that's definitely a plus. um how do you feel about kids? What's the knowing what what do you feel the age requirement should be for kids to start trying to get into bodybuilding?
I mean, I think after puberty or even before puberty, they should learn athleticism. They should learn being active. I don't know
Mhm.
about bodybuilding so much, but learn, being active and getting out there and being healthy and then progressing from there. I since I don't have kids, I can't give you any specific age. I can't tell you what would be best because I don't, it's not something I've ever had to think about.
Okay. Um, what's your favorite places that you've been to train? I know me personally, I came up going to Golden Gym with friends and family and relatives and things like that. But then as I got older, Muscle Beach was like my favorite place in the world. Um,
I don't have. I mean, I have some gyms that I prefer in Tampa. I really love MI40 and Powerhouse on Hillsborough. If I want to go a little bit further north of Tampa, I love Pro Gear, and they have two locations in North Tampa. They're more of like a warehouse, not climate controlled. Like I can go in there and slam stuff around and yell, and I'm not worried about offending anybody.
right, right. Have you have you experienced any funny business as far as like, okay, when you're in these competitions, all the ladies have these phenomenal bodies. What are the judges looking for? What's being like? What's the what exactly? How exactly are the points given in these bodybuilding contests?
Well, we're supposed to meet certain requirements. So women's bodybuilding has these requirements, physique has different requirements, figure, so on and so forth. A lot of it is symmetry, musculature, how you present it, things like that. Like you can have the phenomenal best physique, but if you get up there and you don't pose right and you don't present it right, you're probably not going to win.
Hmm. Are there certain type of stretches or anything like that?
Stretches,
That they're looking for? Yeah, like when you're flexing, what exactly, like, are is it what are the how is the point system given into the into that?
well, I don't know how to explain it. We have to have like a balance and symmetry. So when we're posing, we need to present that. So let's say I had an injury and one of my lats is smaller than the other. I have to learn how to pose and make it look like they're the same. If I don't, then obviously that they're not going to give me as high of a score. I don't know the actual point system. I don't know how they do that. But
Okay.
obviously I know that if you're not presenting yourself right, you're not going to have as many points.
Wow. Uh, how often? What's the whole thing with the tan? I noticed that a lot of bodybuilders and professional wrestlers. I noticed they have the tan. They love the tan thing. Like, they all get. You
You
know.
can see the muscle separation and the muscle bellies and striations better when we're tan. And we're standing
Ah.
on a stage with extremely bright lights that is going to wash us out. So if you're tan, it's harder to wash out.
It makes sense now. That makes sense. Okay, because I always noticed that it's like they get these amazing tans, and
Yep.
before they go on, it's like
Yep.
I always wondered
I
what was
actually
the
bring my own tan girl with me to every show.
is that an ointment or is that a machine?
Um, well, my girl does it herself, but if you pay the tan, it's like a spray
Oh, you
machine.
said a tanker. Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Tan,
okay.
spray tan.
Spray tan. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, wow, okay.
But I bring my
Hmm.
own girl, so she does all of it for me. Most of the time, as a competitor, you pay the show and they do it for you.
Uh-huh. Um, Let me ask you, how do bodybuilders get endorsed or get make a lot of money? Like what's the whole key to that?
Couldn't tell you because I'm not making any money on it.
Oh, so it's a gamble.
I'm assuming, especially social media, it has to do with popularity. The more followers you have, a company's going to see that you have a bunch of followers. They're going to offer you, hey, if you do this for me, I'll do this for you.
Ah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. I see now because I couldn't understand. Like what was the big salary? 'Cause you never see like a bodybuilder salary rate or anything like
We don't
most.
get paid for it. Only
Oh,
like top level Olympians and Arnolds, and I'm sorry, Olympians and people that compete at Arnold, like the very top, there is some prize money. But for women, it is a fraction of what the men get. I don't know the exact numbers and it changes, but it is a very small fraction of what the men get. The most of the women that are able to do this full time that are Olympians are getting money from sponsors and other places, I would assume.
uh, have you thought about starting a YouTube channel or a podcast or?
I actually do
Anything
have
like
one.
that?
I just haven't used it. I think I used it my very first year and documented my prep and then didn't do anything from there. I considered doing it this year. I know like 2 years ago, I started to do it all on OnlyFans to try and make money. Not nudity. I
Mm,
was just showing my, prep. This
right.
year, I didn't even post on social media a lot. Just too busy, too many things going on, and wanted to focus on me and the prep.
Okay. Okay. Definitely understand that. I think sometimes with the social media, it takes up a lot of time. You got to have it's a team. It's a team effort with this. Like I promise you, it's never just one person behind. Make doing something. It's always multiple
Yeah,
making it happen. Because it's a lot of work to it.
yeah, I would assume that
So
it's a lot of work. I mean, it's a lot of work to just try and record, training videos and post them, which is why I didn't do it.
mhm, exactly. Now imagine editing that and then making
Exactly.
sure it goes here, making sure it goes there. Like it's definitely a job, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. You know, with your competitions, how many competitions have you done and how many have you won? How many have you came close to? How many you think you should have won?
For bodybuilding, how many have I done? I think I've done 7 shows. I've only won one show. Um,
Mhm.
Last year was my first national show, and I placed fourth. Um, I don't know. I don't have any shows that I feel like I was robbed. I feel like I, the judges put me where I deserve to be.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
That's the
that's a
main
hard
thing.
question because we're always our own worst critic. So I'm always going to pick myself apart before a judge or anybody else because I see every single day and every little flaw up close and personal.
Right. Now, what's the furthest you've traveled for a competition?
Um, I'll say, well, last year I was in Tennessee and I traveled to Texas. This year I'm in Florida and I went to Pittsburgh. So I would say that one's probably the furthest.
Yeah, Pittsburgh definitely. Pittsburgh from Florida definitely further.
Yeah.
Mm, no doubt. No doubt. Um, with the economy and everything, can you give us some detail what you've noticed about the economy change?
For
Uh,
bodybuilding, it's just made everything more expensive and it was expensive to begin
more
with. Like,
exactly. That's a oh
last year to enter a class, it was $225. This year it was $300 a class. Um,
wow.
I know that like my groceries cost more this year than they did last year. Things of that nature. So it's just definitely made it more expensive. And for example, for myself, I'm taking next year off, regardless of how I place on Friday. I'm not going to compete next year because of expenses is a lot of it, but also I need time to grow.
Yeah. Um, you know, what's the difference between the Pittsburgh competition and the Texas competition?
That one was nationals. This is North Americans. Both are national shows. Both are pro card. I could get my pro card. Otherwise, Gary Udit puts on this show. I forget who put on nationals, but nationals is like the last chance of the year to get your pro card.
Um, now, I IFBB. That's is that international female bodybuilding?
No, that's what is it? Because that can be men too. It's international fitness bodybuilding. I don't
Oh,
remember what it is.
international
That's
fitness bodybuilding. Okay,
I
okay, yeah.
don't know if
The
that's what it
initials.
is. I don't know if that's what it
Okay,
stands for because that is IFBB is for men and women. It's not just women. Um, but that's when you get pro, which I'm not there, so I don't know.
okay. Um, with you know, when you go to these, are all these like the is all this in Tampa? Like all the photos, basically with you and your bodybuilder.
A lot of them were. I haven't looked at every single one that you've posted, but so I don't know for sure. But most of them are in
Mhm.
Florida. Yeah.
Okay. Um, how do you like it out there in Florida? Is it a lot of bodybuilders? Is it like the home of the bodybuilders now, or
It's not. I think California is number one. I do like it a lot. I actually moved away to Tennessee for a year and just moved back to Florida like last week. So obviously, I like Florida, or I would not have gone back.
okay? Hmm. Yeah, that you know, Florida is outside of the you know the hurricanes and stuff like that, and you know the storms and stuff. Like Florida's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know, very beautiful place. And, you know, with the oceans and you know the views and things like that. It's definitely a
Yeah,
lovely
yeah.
city. Now, you practice pole dancing?
I have in the past. I've taken classes. That specific picture was like a birthday party for myself. But yeah, I've taken classes. I've taken trapeze classes and pole classes. And usually I'll do that just for a different form of cardio, just something different than stairs or, running or bike.
You know, you are like this is amazing. Just like hearing your story and you know knowing that you were like completely out of shape before this, and you just you know found the switch somewhere and turned it all around. And now look at you. I mean, you are I mean, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could go higher than that, but that's still pretty impressive just to make it that far up
Oh, I
and
can
stay there. Like you know,
I can climb all the way to the top, and I had done like flips and stuff on the trapeze.
okay. Um, well, what I want to do is salute to everybody coming in. Um, yeah, everybody's starting to come in. It's crazy. Okay, hey, how you guys doing? Any questions you guys have for Miss Snow while we have her attention? We got a few
Okay, I
more
do
minutes
need
with her,
exactly. I was just going to say I
and
do have to go soon because I just got to Pittsburgh when we started this, and I still
uh,
need to go do some cardio.
definitely. What we can do is we can have a continuation. When is your show?
Friday.
Okay, so how about let's say any day after that, you know, we can have a part two.
Yeah, definitely just message me. I would say Saturday I will be driving to Florida. So message me in the morning if we can do it that day, great. But message me first just to see how I feel after Friday. I might need a day, especially because I have
Okay,
to get in the car and drive another 15 hours. I might, just need some time.
okay. Definitely. Yeah, you got the ladies are saying that's amazing. That takes so much strength.
Well,
She is
thank you.
goals. You definitely got
That's awesome.
yeah, you definitely got some support coming in.
That's
Well,
awesome.
Krissy, I definitely enjoy having you. I wish I could have you a little longer, but you know, I know you got a lot to do. Um, really enjoyed it, and you know, let's try to get a part two continuation.
Yeah,
You
if we
know,
can't do it Saturday, then
sometime.
we'll do it next week.
Okay, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good.
you know, I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna talk to the chat, and you have a great day.
All right, thank you. And thank you, everybody.
Mhm.
Bye.
Good luck. Bye bye. Yeah. You know, during the interview, she was explaining that, you know, she's kind of out of, you know, out of shape. And then she just hit a switch and just start getting herself together and get motivated and working out. Um, this is unreal, unbelievable. So I want you guys to yes, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good, precious. Um, I'm gonna do a part two, and so on the next one, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna make sure I send you a link. You know what I'm saying. Before the show gets started. You know, I definitely appreciate what I'm saying, everybody who come through, tune in. What I'm gonna do though, precious, I'm gonna send you the link to the channel. That way you can subscribe, and then you know what I'm saying. You can see when I go live and everything like that. You know. Yeah, it's gonna be posted on my channel, but it's gonna be on YouTube. So it's gonna be posted on YouTube. Uh, it's gonna do some numbers and things like that. Like I was saying, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send you my link, and I'll send you the link and everything, and then you know what I'm saying. You can see it, and then you can see some other interviews and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all definitely hit that like button, subscribe button, and share button. You know what I'm saying? Getting it in. Glad you all could join. Okay, salute.
I'm ice cold from head to toe. I know you like what you see. I know you like what you see. I know you like what you see. Diamond on my pinky ring, I'm calling big shots. Send 100 niggas just to shoot up your block. So many rounds, got you praying that it stops. Bullets at your feet, got you playing hopscotch. Hit him in the hip, make him do the baby bop. I was in a CLA, Benz drop top. Hair blowing, young, pretty Tony Cinderoni, don't stop. Coming down the street, beating down your block. System real loud, make the bitches pussy pop. Hammer ringing loud, make them call like the cops. Steel to your chest, hands up like you flock. They some fuck niggas, man, I'm from good stock. I was at the Laker game, courtside, front seats. Rondo number 9, King James 23. Walking down the steps, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. God is watching, non-stopping, lean not to your own understanding. Roni, boo, my nigga, you look outstanding. The first hit came from a pussy lame brain. Pussy nigga got me fucked up in the game. Pussy nigga name rhyme with pussy, so you gon' hear a lot of pussy as you feel my pain. Cinderoni name ring through the chain gang. County State fed, all the shoppers feel the same. Hopped out the brown Chevy van, the same color Peter Pan, peanut butter. Listen close, motherfucker, cause I don't stutter. Cross the street, I spotted him. Make a wrong move and I got him. Drove off, left him at the red light. Double back, he was banging on the wheel, looking real tight. I was at the Laker game, courtside, front seats. Rondo number 9, King James 23. Walking down the steps, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me. Acting like I didn't know. 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 Bill Cosby my drain. Bill Cosby my drain. I can't let that go. Can't let that go. Acting like I didn't know. 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 Bill Cosby my drain. Bill Cosby my drain. I can't let that go. Can't let that go. I was at the Laker game, courtside, front seats. Rondo number 9, King James 23. Walking down the steps, all eyes on me. All eyes on me. All eyes on me.
Hold on, Deuce. So your sister bodybuilds, Deuce? Man, that's fantastic, man. Shout out to all the females and the ladies that's taking it to the next level. You must understand health is wealth. Things must be done. If you find yourself in a deep depression, you can get out. If you find yourself lost or any misfortune or anything, things can be done and wounds can be healed. Um, as you can see here, this is all willpower. All willpower. I want to thank you guys for coming on. fantastic show. I appreciate the lovely Miss Krissy Snow. She will be back. We will have a deeper dialogue. I'll be back on in a couple of hours. If you need me, call me. Salute.